Welcome to the deep dive. We're jumping straight into the second chapter of John today.
Yeah, it's quite a chapter. Two very different, very striking events back to back.
Exactly. We've got a wedding, a potential disaster averted, and then this really dramatic scene at the temple in Jerusalem.
We want to unpack these moments, look at the details, and sort of figure out what they tell us.
And what they might mean for you listening in. So let's dive into that first scene, the wedding at Cana.
Right. In Galilee, Jesus is there, his mother's there, his new disciples too. It's a celebration.
A feast. But then, uh-oh, they run out of wine.
Which, in that culture, wasn't just awkward, it was a huge social embarrassment, a failure by the hosts.
And Jesus' mother, Mary, she just goes to him and says, kind of simply, they have no more wine.
His reply is a bit unexpected, maybe. Woman, why do you involve me? My time has not yet come. It sounds almost harsh, perhaps.
But she doesn't seem deterred. She just turns to the servants and says, do whatever he tells you. Like she knows something's about to happen.
It really sets the stage. And what he tells them is, well, pretty specific. See those 6 stone water jars?
The ones for ceremonial washing. Huge things, right? Holding 20, maybe 30 gallons each.
Those exact ones. He says, fill them with water. Just fill them up. And they do.
Then, okay, now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet, the guy running the show.
Imagine being that servant. You just filled it with water. But okay, they do it.
And the master tastes it.
Mm-hmm.
He's amazed. He has no clue where this came from. I mean, the servants know, but they're keeping quiet.
Right. So he calls the bridegroom over and says, basically, hey, most people put out the good stuff first, but you, he says, you've saved the best wine till now.
Wow. Just like that, water to wine.
And the source explicitly calls this Jesus' first miraculous sign. It happened right there in Cana.
And it says it revealed his glory. And his disciples believed in him because of it.
Think about that reveal of glory, though. Not thunder, not a huge public spectacle, but quietly fixing a potentially embarrassing situation at a wedding, turning water into really, really good wine.
It does make you think about where you might expect to see something divine. Maybe it's not always the big, loud moments.
Mm-hmm. But then the chapter shifts gears completely.
Yeah, that quiet miracle feels worlds away from the next scene. Jesus goes to Jerusalem for Passover.
And he walks into the temple courts. But instead of, prayer and reverence,
It's a marketplace. People selling cattle, sheep, doves, money changers everywhere. Chaos.
not just commerce, but often exploitative commerce, preying on pilgrims who needed specific currency or animals.
And Jesus' reaction is intense. He doesn't just talk to them. He actually makes a whip.
Yeah, a whip of cords. And he drives them all out. The sellers, the animals, everything.
He flips over the money changers' table, sends coins scattering, and he shouts, "Get these out of here! Stop turning my father's house into a market."
It's fiery, it's zealous, and the disciples later, they connect it to that scripture. Zeal for your house will consume me.
That action definitely gets a reaction. The Jewish authorities there confront him. They demand a sign.
Yeah.
What gives you the authority to do all this?
And his answer is, well, it's layered. He says, destroy this temple, and I will raise it again in 3 days.
Which completely confuses them. They're thinking of the literal physical temple building. This took 46 years to build, they say. You're going to raise it in 3 days.
But the text clarifies for us, he wasn't talking about the stone building. He was talking about his own body.
Ah, predicting his death and resurrection.
Exactly. But they didn't get it then. Even the disciples only really understood it after he was raised from the dead.
So you have these two incredibly different demonstrations. The generous transformation at Cana and this fierce purifying act at the temple.
And the chapter notes that while he was in Jerusalem seeing these signs, many people did start to believe in his name.
But here's a fascinating little detail right at the end. It says Jesus, for his part, would not entrust himself to them.
Right. Despite their belief based on the signs, he held back.
Why? Why would he do that?
Because the text says he knew all people. He didn't need anyone to testify about human nature because he inherently knew what was in each person.
He understood their hearts, their motives, maybe the shallowness of a belief based only on wonders.
Something like that. He saw deeper than the surface, a complete understanding of human nature.
So bring it all together. We've seen this quiet power, this passionate zeal, and this almost unsettling insight into humanity.
It's quite a contrast, the behind-the-scenes miracle versus the very public confrontation.
And it leaves us with that final thought, doesn't it, from the text itself?
Yeah. What does it really mean? What are the implications for you, for anyone, of someone knowing truly and completely what is in a person?
Definitely something to think about.
Yep.
We've just scratched the surface here, but hopefully it's given you some new perspectives on this chapter.
Uncovering those surprising details, those deeper insights, that's what these dives are all about.